Wrong places that our children learn sex education. If you don't teach your children, these wrong places will teach them, and will teach them the wrong information. So that means that you should be ready to teach them so you can give them the right information. But let's look at the wrong places they learn sex education. That's our topic for today. Wrong places your children can learn sex education. Number one place that is so wrong for them to learn sex education is from their peers. Their peers do not have adequate information to pass out, because they are going to give them information based on what they know and based on what they are doing. And what do you think these peers knows? These their friends, this young mind know about sex education? They are going to educate a child the wrong way. So that's one wrong place that a child can learn sex education. Be careful the kind of friends your child goes out with, and be careful the kind of information they are taking from them. That's why you, as a caregiver, have to do the first job. Teach them beforehand. Teach them before their peers, before their friends. Teach them the wrong way. Secondly is exposure to violence and movies, stereotypes. Exposure to sexual and violent stereotypes. That's to say, movies and music that have bad ideology about sex education, teaching them the wrong thing, advocating the wrong thing. Okay, so you have to be careful about this kind of information. If you don't teach them on time, these movies will teach them the wrong thing, or videos will teach them the wrong things. So teach them before these things teach your children sex education. The third area they can learn bad information about sex education is the environment, your neighborhood. What is the neighborhood portraying about sex education? What are people in your environment saying about sex education? What is their attitude towards sex education? What are they doing that you think your child will learn from? So you need to do your work first, so that these avenues do not teach them and cause havoc in the minds of the child before you pick up yourself, put yourself together and start teaching them. So the environment, your neighborhood, have a great impact in teaching your child sex education. These are wrong areas or wrong places your child can learn sex education. Then the fourth one is romance literature. The child cannot filter information that is adequate at this age. So if they are exposed to romance literature that portray too much romantic materials, it might soil their mind, and they may want to practice what they read on this literature. So know the kind of information your child ingests at a very young age, because if they cannot filter at this young age and you allow them to read these novels, these romance novels, they may start practicing what they are reading from these novels. There are some websites that have stories, romantic stories. If they follow those series and you don't know, they may want to go and practice what they are reading on this series. So teach them sex education and teach them how to filter information. When they have a first-hand information from you, they will be able to know what is right and what is wrong. That way their power of filtering will be adequate. So that's another thing you need to know. And then the fifth is bad example from the family. It can be the parents that have this bad example. Imagine that your attitude, your doing say the opposite. The child learns from what they see. The children learn from what they see, not just from what you say. If you teach them sex education and you are just practicing the opposite, they are going to copy what you're doing. You're going to copy what you're doing. So be a good example. What kind of example are you setting in the home that will help a child learn? Children learn by saying. Children learn by doing. So when you do the opposite, they are going to do the same. When you say the opposite and do a different thing, they are going to do what they are saying. So the home should be very careful of what they are going to do. The parents, caregivers, extended families that live within, know the kind of attitude you put up so that the children don't go and pick up negative attitude and start practicing them. So as you teach them by example, teach them by your character, teach them by what you do. That will help them to learn better. So we are looking at wrong places to learn sex education. We see that the friends are number one wrong place they can learn. The number two wrong place they can learn is through movies and music. That's another place that can hurt them. Number three is your environment and your neighborhood. What do they portray? Number four, we talk about exposure to romance novels and books at an early age that they cannot filter. Then the fifth one is learning from the example of the home. If you teach them one thing and do another thing, they're going to follow your example. So these are wrong places your children can learn sex education. Teach them the right one so they don't learn the wrong one. Alright, so this is Class Online School, where we deliver educational stuff. We run the Nigerian curriculum from JSS1 to SS3. We have sex education section, which is one of these one. We have counseling corner, where we talk about issue arising. What is that issue in your neighborhood you think that other parents need to know about? Tell us so that we can discuss it here on this channel and on this page. Then we have our business tips sometimes, where we talk about businesses that can help us, how we can start up even if it is small. So thank you for joining me. Suggest if you have any topic you want to suggest to us. What do you want to suggest that we incorporate here? We are open for suggestion. So also we are open for sponsorship so that we can continue to bring in this video to your home. This is Class Online School. We bring learning to your home, and we want all of us to go on this journey with our family and get to a good destination. Thank you for joining me here. I'll see you in our next